Hey, house guests, welcome to today's Big Brother 26 updates and spoilers. Hope you're all having a fantastic Tuesday. What day is it? How about that women's US gymnastics team? Woo! That was so fun to watch. But we have business to talk to. We have a responsibility beyond matter to get to. So, our house guest of the day is Kathy McHale. Kathy, thank you so much as always, so much for the support. We really, really do appreciate it. So, thank you again. And if you guys want to be house guests of the day, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. It's only $1 for a holla. Hey, everybody. I see all your waves and everything. And before we get going, also, if you are still looking to get the live feeds, we have a link below to get them. And if you use our link, we get a little bit of a kickback, which helps us keep making these streams and doing our episode recaps all season long. So we really appreciate it. Any way you can help us out. All right, so let's get started. Hello. When we left off yesterday, they had just had the power veto ceremony. Kenny used the power veto on himself. I'm glad he's at least like doing that, right? Because there was a small, tiny part of me was like, is he even going to use it on himself? He's always talking about how much he wants to go, but no, he did use it on himself. And Tucker went up in his place. So just a reminder, Tucker did volunteer to go on the block as a pawn, which is still just like wild to me. Why would you do it? Why? Are you that confident? It's crazy enough to just do that in a regular season, but the fact that it is 3 nominees and then you got the BBAI competition, and also there's 2 secret powers out there and you don't have 100% confirmation on who has them or what they do. I don't think that's a good idea. But anyway, we've got Tucker versus Angela versus Lisa up on the block, and he's pretty confident that he can beat them in the AI arena competition. And if not, he feels confident that the votes will be there to keep him safe against either Angela or Lisa. We'll see. Okay. So, as I have to say, like for right now, he seems fine, but you never know how things could change as the week goes on. So, the target is still Lisa. As much as people are tired of Angela's blowups, and there have been many, most of them we haven't been able to see. They keep blocking the feeds whenever it happens, which is a bummer. But as annoying as Angela's blowups are, it is still widely believed that Lisa has one of the upgrade powers. She does not. So people feel like Lisa is also more likely to win competitions and gain allies than Angela. So they feel like Lisa is the bigger threat. She needs to go before Angela. I mean, I would have to agree with that. I do think that Angela really brings the mood down, but like Lisa is much more capable of getting numbers together. Angela has no one right now working with her. So if you can put up with Angela's nonsense, it definitely makes more sense to take out Lisa. And it doesn't help that Lisa also annoys a lot of people. So that's not really working in her favor. But anyway, let's talk about some of the new stuff going on. Okay, so Leah and Chelsea were chatting in the HOH room yesterday afternoon, and they both feel like Lisa is doing the most right now. She's like giving out foot massages. They're talking about how they don't think that Lisa is a girl's girl. Not the girl's girl discourse again. I can't do it again. This has been coming up season after season the last few years, and it is so annoying. But you know that this girl's girl thing is coming up because there has been talk again of potentially starting a girls alliance. So now we have to hear about who's a girl's girl and who's not. And it's just very irritating and annoying. Because it's also a lot of the time usually not a girl's girl claiming that everybody else is not. It's exhausting. So anyway, I'm just getting really terrible flashbacks to when everybody was mean to Taylor on her season. But anyway, Leah gives an update on the showmance situation. If you haven't been watching the last few days, she has been flirting it up with Cam, Cedric, and Quinn, but now suddenly she's interested in Tucker. He's not interested in her. But Leah, she says she's been avoiding Cam because he told her that he had a dream about her like a romantic one. And she feels uncomfy about this. It's like all fun and games while she's running around chasing him, but now that he's actually like catching feelings, she wants nothing to do with him. Ooh. But everyone's been noticing how his attention is always on her when she's in the room. He is always focused on her. So yeah, she's not into that, and she's kind of like, it's too much, I don't want this. But like, girl, you've been flirting with him nonstop. It's a lot. Like, what'd you expect was gonna happen? So anyway, Mackenzie is chatting with T-Core, and Mackenzie is talking about how she would love for the women to work together. She thinks they're all similar minded and they would work well together. I don't think they'd work that great together. Not this group. Maybe like pockets within the big group, but I don't see all these girls working together well. um, then Mackenzie proceeds to talk about how Lisa's got to go this week, and then next week she wants Angela out. So you want to get a girls' alliance together, but your next two targets are women. Make it make sense. I guess she's saying once we get rid of those two, we can make a girls' alliance that'll work, but I just don't see it happening with this group. No freaking way. Okay, so Mackenzie is telling T-Core, if I win HOH, everyone's going to know what I'm doing. There's not going to be any guesswork, right? The only person that would have to be worried is Angela. What happens if Angela wins a competition? Somebody else is going to have to go. But anyway, later, Quinn talks to the cameras in the storage room, and he was saying he feels like Lisa has really been misunderstood in this house. I would agree. And he feels really bad about that. But basically, like, that's the game, right? That happens. And he can't be sticking his neck out for her because at this point, he's aligned with almost everyone. So he doesn't want to have to be like, hey, can we save Lisa? And then like people are going to be looking at him like, why? Like, what are you doing? So he doesn't want to go down that road. Plus, he knows that Lisa was dropping T-Core's name around the house, and that doesn't fly with him because he is very tight with T-Core, and he does not need somebody coming after her. So that's kind of like the final nail in the coffin where Quinn is like, you know what? Lisa can go. And he says at least if Lisa does go, people will stop talking crap about her. Unfortunately, that is not necessarily true. Because how many times have we seen someone get evicted and then people just can't stop talking about that person, right? Because they don't have much else to talk about. So I envision the crap talk continuing, unfortunately. But anyway, Quinn brings up that Leah is really killing him because those two formed a final two the other night, and he says he really did want to prioritize that final two above like all the other stuff he's got going on, but she hasn't really been talking to him since then. Not game, not really personal. So he hopes that he didn't make it weird by flirting with her. I mean, now she's all about Tucker, so I don't know, but I think it's more than that. I think she just like reels these dudes in, and then she doesn't want anything to do with them once they're into her. But even on a game level, she's not really giving him much attention. So yeah, he points out that Leah seems to be in an obvious showmance with Cam now, and Quinn doesn't want to get mixed up in that. He doesn't want to have a final two with somebody who is going to pick their showmance over him. So he's not feeling great about that. Seems like Leah is kind of like fizzling out for him. Okay, we also have Quinn talking about how he would love to win HOH at some point and use that opportunity to form a real alliance, not just something that he's told he's a part of, right? He wants to be part of like putting it together. And he did mention that he wants Rubina to be in this alliance as well. He's not really sure that she's going to win a lot of competitions this season, but he really likes talking to her, and he thinks that she would be a good alliance member. I think Rubina is one of the realest people on the cast this season. She just seems very genuine. I thought she was going to be one of the bigger personalities, but she's actually like really cool, calm, and collected. So good for her. Quinn also mentioned that he feels like Brooklyn is the best player this season, and then Cam behind her. So he's thinking that Cam might need to go pre-jury. Just get that threat out of the way. Really? That's interesting. He didn't say like, oh, I don't want Cam on the jury, but he kind of just wants to like take care of that threat before they get too deep into the game. I do think that Cam was playing a really good game like the first week and a half or whatever, but now that he is so interested in Leah and what's going on with her, game might be slipping a little bit. In other news, Tucker is starting to get a little bit nervous up on the block. That didn't take long. He's worried. Whoa, what if Lisa wins the AI arena competition and I'm on the block next to Angela? He's like, am I going to get voted out? I'm the stronger competitor. So if I'm up there against Angela, why would people not think, let's take out the stronger competitor? Let's keep somebody who is mentally weaker, Angela. Did you not think about this before? Like, this is why you don't volunteer to go up on the block, especially when you don't know who you could potentially be sitting next to on eviction night, right? Because they don't know what's going to happen with that arena competition. But Leah is reassuring Tucker, you're going to be fine. You're not going to get voted out either way. And then Leah starts complaining about Cam following her around. I can't with it'd be one thing if this was like an Amber and Caleb BB16 situation where Caleb was just like obsessed with Amber and it wasn't her fault. But like Leah has been going hard flirting with all these guys, and then she's upset that they start following her around like a puppy dog. She said it's really pissing her off that people think that she's in a showmance. Would she prefer people think she's in like 3 showmances? Because that's what it looked like she was working towards. But she says, this is not what I signed up for. Girl, this is what you've been putting out there. It's not good. All right, later. Cam and Leah have a little chat. And I believe I didn't see this one play out. I only was able to read some transcripts of what they were talking about. And I believe he pretty much admitted that he is into her romantically, but he was like, yeah, it's probably going to be bad for our games if we get into a showmance. We got to stop this rumor from spreading. I mean, the way he follows her around and looks at her says it all. You're not going to be squashing this rumor. Everybody knows. But he's like, yeah, I guess we can't like get into a showmance. Also, I don't get the impression that she actually is really into him like that. She was just having fun flirting, and now she's just like, nope. So we'll see what happens there. But later, Angela was getting ready to stir up some drama. Oh boy. At one point yesterday evening, Angela told Kenny, hey, if I'm evicted, I'm going to give you some very powerful info on the way out. And then she was like, you know what? Maybe I'll even tell you if I end up staying. Maybe we can use this power to our advantage and work together. So she's telling Kenny, you're the only one that I'm going to be telling this to. I'm pretty sure at this point she's talking about Quinn's power. She's going to spill about Quinn's power to Kenny. So a little later, Angela is chatting with Kenny, Chemo, Joseph, Cedric, and Tucker, and they're all discussing what this other secret power could be. Pretty much everybody knows at this point, except for like a few random people. They all know about Mackenzie's power and basically like what it does, whatever, somewhat. But they're trying to figure out what this other one is, and Angela's like, all right, I don't have it, but I know that this power trumps the nominations. And she says, I know this 100%. 100% I know this. And she's like, I don't know when exactly it can be used, like at what point in the week. She doesn't know how long it lasts for. But she says, I know what this power does. So she doesn't out Quinn yet for having it, but she's inching closer. Another point of interest from last night, Kenny has been sniffing out the Girls Alliance. So he was talking to anybody who would listen to him about it. He's talking to Chemo. I think he talked to Tucker about it. And Kenny was basically saying, I think that the girls are all working together. And I believe that Brooklyn is the glue holding that group together. So you're going to do this to Brooklyn? After Kenny was all like, the old people need to work together. Yeah. So later, Chemo actually clues T-Court in on what Kenny's been saying, because Chemo and T-Core are like this. So T-Core didn't seem super concerned about it. She's kind of like on the fringe of that potential girls alliance anyway, so she doesn't really see herself being targeted early because of it. But I guess, Kenny also wasn't saying like, we need to go after them immediately, but he was bringing it to the guys' attention. So we'll see what happens with that. I don't even know if this girls' alliance is going to take flight at all anyway. But moving on, Angela was not done with her shenanigans yet. She was talking to Tucker late last night, spilling some tea. First of all, Angela was saying that Quinn defamed her, like defamation of character. I think she said deformation of character. When Quinn told T-Core about the whole "that's the group" comment. I can't go through the whole entire rundown on that again because it's like exhausting and tedious, but if you've been watching the last few days, you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, she feels like Quinn defamed her character, and that's a bit much in my opinion. Angela also spills to Tucker that Quinn has the upgrade power, but Tucker doesn't believe this. Oh my God. I mean, to be fair, Angela is like the boy who cried wolf, but Tucker doesn't believe it. He's still convinced that Lisa has it. I mean, he's going off of his body language assessment. He's pretty convinced that Lisa has it. And Angela's like, well, I want to stay here. I don't want to have to expose this. So Tucker tells her, look, you're not the target. Lisa is the target. And of course, Angela does not believe him. She's like, don't lie to me, please. I've already had people tell me that I'm the target this week. Who's telling you that? Because I've seen everybody being like, it's Lisa. But yeah, Tucker says, no. Everyone wants Lisa out because they think that she has a power. And he says, that's why I'm even up on the block against her, because I want Lisa out that badly. I think she has the power. And Angela's like, well, I think Quinn has it. Do you want to go home? Like, you're hearing that Lisa is the target because they think she has the power, and then you're trying to discredit that. Even though Angela is right that it's Quinn, you see that potentially Lisa is the target over you for something that they believe that's not true. You're really going to try and correct them, and then what if you become the target because they don't think that it's Lisa anymore? They're just going to vote you out instead. So I feel like Angela's working against herself a bit here. But anyway, Quinn heard Angela talking about him during that conversation because he was like within earshot of all of this. I don't think he heard her spill about his power, but he did hear his name come up a bunch of times. He did hear like, he attacked my character or whatever. So Quinn was not happy about this and about Angela dragging his name through the mud. We still don't know what was said during that Angela blow up from Saturday. So who knows how that all went down. I hope we get to see it on the episode. I have my doubts, but hopefully we will. And Quinn was telling people, I'm not going to argue with someone who's like the same age as my mom. I'm not going to argue with someone in their 50s. So he's not happy with her right now. That was last night. And then today, Angela's on her bullshit again. Angela called Lisa a twit to her face and also mocked her walk to her face. She saw Lisa walking past her and Angela's all like it was a lot. It's very childish, I have to say. Is it entertaining? Somewhat, but it's getting a little tired. Like, it's very immature. It's too much, but it's really upsetting Lisa. Lisa's getting some sympathy for it, but the sympathy thing is killing me because all the people, like pretty much the women who were like, this is too much, like Angela's going too far. These are the same women that were up in the HOH room the other night watching Lisa on the HOH camera and like making fun of her. So it's a bit hypocritical, but anyway, Lisa's getting a little bit of sympathy with this. I don't think it's enough to turn the tides on the vote, but Lisa still doesn't realize that she is the target this week. So other than that, today, there's also a new alliance in the works. Quinn is really like spearheading this. So it's Quinn, T-Core, Rubina, Chemo, Tucker, and I think Chelsea is also supposed to be a part of this. We'll see if this ends up getting solidified or not. It seems like the group was possibly even going to be a little bit bigger, but Tucker was like, no, it's too many people. So I think they're reeling it in a little bit. I think Joseph was also a possibility, but now he's kind of like maybe not going to be in it because there's just too many people. He wasn't approached yet, but they were talking about bringing him in. So we'll see what happens with that alliance. I do like that group minus like Tucker makes me a little bit nervous because he's a bit of a wild card. But everybody else in that group, I'm like, yes, I'd like to see that. Like, let's get that together. So who knows? But we've got 2 days left until the eviction. One of the nominees will be coming down with the BBAI Arena comp. So we don't know for sure who's going to be on the block on Thursday, but that's where we're at. So I don't know. It seems very tense in that house right now. I would not be surprised if there was another Angela blow up today. We'll see what happens. So I want to thank today's super chatters. Okay, we've got Mary Ellen L. Thank you so much as always. And hello to the kitty cat. Susan Pengili, thank you so much. That's a very cute sticker. I always see Chemo with his glasses like this, and it makes me laugh because he looks like this like little old man. And it's fun. Sean Davis, thank you so much for the super chat. Sean says Angela is so unhinged that it's hard not to watch. The clip of her imitating Lisa's walk was hilarious. It was something. I just when I saw it, I was like, "Are you like 5 years old?" It was a bit much in my opinion, but it was. I mean, it's harmless, pretty much. I'm sure Lisa feels differently, but it just shows more about Angela's character than anything. Yeah, and then the way that the camera like zoomed in on Lisa's face being like yeah. Nanita Madrano, thank you so much. And this is Nanita's 10th super on a live stream. Woo! Thank you so much. Nanita says Team Tucker. I hope he didn't make a mistake this week volunteering to go up on the block. Right now he seems okay, but you never know what could happen over the next few days. I feel like Lisa and Angela are so messy though that he probably will be safe on the block. David Cushmore, thank you so much. David says, how long will Angela stay before she gets evicted? That's a really good question. I mean, I think eventually there comes like a tipping point where somebody is such a mess that everyone's like, you know what? Let's just keep this person around. There's like 0% chance of them winning because even if they do get dragged to the end, they're never going to win. They're never going to get a jury vote. But I think that there is also a point where like people have had enough. So I wouldn't be surprised if they just get sick of her shit and vote her out soon. And it also depends on who wins HOH because I know Mackenzie is very much wanting to take out Angela. So if it was like Leah or Mackenzie, I think they would take the shot at Angela. I don't know if everyone would follow through on that, but I do think that people are going to get so annoyed with Angela at some point that like she's done. So I don't think she's going to be around much longer. I also wouldn't be surprised if she ended up like, I don't know about like being asked to leave or like leaving on her own because I feel like she's just going to keep blowing up. So we'll see, but I don't think she's long for this game. Indie Girl, thank you so much for the super chat. Is that like a little fox or a kitty? It's super cute. That's a nice way to end the chat. So I want to thank you all so much for being here. I hope you all have a fantastic day. And I know Yvonne was asking what was on my shirt. It's the Bluth Banana Stand. Woo! Love Arrested Development. I could really go for a frozen banana right now too, like a chocolate one. But anyway, thanks for being here. Have a great Tuesday. And we will be back tomorrow for more. So until next time, much love. Bye, everybody. Bye.